All right, I think I'm live, Deanna. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. It's working. All right, let me make sure it's working here. Let's make sure it's working.
Close, like all these high flyers.
All right, we should be good.
Close, all these.
All right. Let me get the screen cleared up here, and then we'll get rocking. Move the zoomies. All right. Courage and freedom will set you free. Are we up and rocking or not? And then the webcam just went off. What in the world is going on? What in the world just happened? My webcam just stopped. Well, that was weird. All right, well, that was weird. All right, no webcam apparently. So no webcam today. Weird. I had some YouTube issues. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the webcam. Whoops. All right, let's get into the deets of the day. Why? Because the markets are up a little bit, mid, when they just went down. Well, let's get into the what's moving here pre-market, and then we'll go from there. And why I'm putting a lot of money in some stocks. Where's the trade exchange? There we go. Let's pull it up here and let's look at the deets of what's happening here pre-market. And let's make it big. All right, so a little gap up in the futures and a little gap down. Pretty much what we'll call it a lazy cat bounce in the futures, and the crypto's holding up too before the crash. I think crypto probably crashes this weekend or next week. Something's going to go wrong big time in crypto. So a little bit of movers pre-market. Snowflake is up. Saw a lot of snow calls yesterday. They were very expensive though. So the weekly 177.5s and the March 7 150s. Above the ask, you always want to favor those options. So snow's up a little bit, but not a lot. Actually, now it's 190. Yeah, so those calls are going to pay off pretty well in Snowflake now. So that'll be good. And then what do we have upcoming? Dino, some stock, a little energy stock that's worked well. Some insider buying. Freeport, upgraded by Jefferies. Stock that was up about 4% yesterday. And then everything else, really not much. Actually shocked not seeing NVDA upgrades. And then some of the high flyers. Teladoc down. That was a pump job by Citron recently. Obviously they pump it, they sell it, and the stock crashes. INOQ is a quantum computing pump job. A lot of funds are getting short that one. Salesforce down, eBay down, Sweetgreen down. Nothing to really do there. And then that's really it in terms of today. And then you have economic data upcoming at 10, but honestly, who cares? All right, let's get into some of the picks for today. Number one, let's go and talk about our good friend We'll start with Walgreens first, because I know a lot of y'all have weekly calls in Walgreens, and so do I. So obviously I want to talk about that one. So if anyone's still holding those weeklies in Walgreens, we got a buyout news today. So the stock popped even more. So what I'm going to do on my Walgreens calls, you can see the buyout news here on Walgreens. On the buyout on Walgreens, hit the news at 8:08 this morning. What I'm going to do is probably sell the rest of my Walgreens calls probably within the first 15 minutes of the day. Not going to hold on too much longer because they do expire tomorrow. So those 10.5 calls should be, $1.20, $1.30, $1.40, depending on where it opens. That will be good, real good. And then Amazon, I gave you that one yesterday. If you day traded it, you did well. Obviously, you had to hold through some pain, but if you swung it, they have a new quantum computing chip they revealed, so shares are up about $3.50 pre-market. Now, I do want to get into some names I'm putting some money into, hopefully pretty big. Yeah, BP calls were interesting. Who was it? Cosmic Spiral. BP is Elliott. So all those BP calls that you saw on the penny option scanner, the past few days. This is all Elliott management. I think the news already broke though. Elliott is the hedge fund behind British Petroleum. So they are going out in time, April. So don't expect, March. That's a lot of time. So don't expect, fireworks like tomorrow, right? You got a lot of time with BP. But one name I do want to look at, and I found the news, or the upcoming catalyst, I should say, for it, is the Mickey Mouse. So let's pull up Mickey on the daily. You got to love this chart too, huh? If we put in, let's look at Platform X. Here we go. If you put in Disney, we saw some deep. Well, at the money, I should say, not too deep. Of the March 112 calls yesterday, and technicals line up. I actually like the media space. It's not really too dependent on like Google or Microsoft or Apple, which is all in the garbage can recently. But you can see, even though the market sold off, like let's say the Qs, they've been going straight down. If you look at Disney, it's been holding very well. And you do have, some overhead resistance that it will shatter on good news. So this prior swing high. And you can see it already lines up with our profit target, right? Of where we're looking to close the call spread, warped options. So it lines up literally perfectly, right? And they do have, I believe it was March 7th, I posted on Telegram. March 4th, pardon me. They are speaking at the Morgan Stanley conference. So that will be good. And they have a new woman CEO. The ladies are always better CEOs. It sounds sexist, doesn't it? The women usually do well when they're CEOs for the stock. So I'm going, on any dips, I am buying more Disney. Disney. Who would have thought, right? Disney. You know what stocks have been doing well, though, as well as Disney, kind of in that same category? Starbucks, in terms of, stocks that were beat down that are now bucking the trend. And then the burrito. I had burrito calls, CMG. And I should have held a little bit more because those calls were up a lot yesterday. But that one's doing very well too, making a comeback in Disney. All right, let's go to a couple names I'm putting some money into. Palantir, officially it goes out Friday. I'm buying Palantir, 30,000 in a structured note investment. On Friday, it gets executed. So why I like Palantir? We are at support, so it filled the gap. Remember, 80% of gaps get filled. So it filled the gap, and now it should do two things. Bounce, obviously the market's going to have to bounce, or what it should do is trade sideways in this range. So basically a structured note investment is I'm protected 50% down, and I get 30% per year. If you don't have structured notes, or you can't get them because you're not a accredited investor, what you can always do is sell premium. Maybe like the 80 puts, something like that out in March. Maybe like the 80, 75 bull put credit spread. You get a little over $1.04. So about 20%, not bad. Your risk basically 5 to make 1. You could do something like that. Basically something to take advantage of the high implied vol. So that's where put selling or bull put credit spreads or even call spreads will come in handy. You see how volatility is so high in Palantir? Right. So you don't want to just buy outright calls. You want to spread it out because of high implied volatility. Because they're expecting lots of moves in Palantir because obviously so much uncertainty, right, that we've seen over the past week or so. Let's see what else here. I think that was, what else did I say I was going to cover here in my thing? Oh, TKO. I am basically selling all my common positions on my investment account to free up capital to buy as much TKO as I can over these next few days. So TKO, we're now at 155, and I expect a bounce in the shares. But if we continue to go down, 145 to 150, call that support, I'm buying as much TKO as possible. And why is that? It's not too dependent on the market. Obviously, if the market goes down, it will go down, as you saw recently. But the big thing in their earnings was a $350 million lawsuit that they had to pay. And obviously, tons of insider buying on this stock from about 157 to mid 160s. And it's just basically a lawsuit that hurt their earnings. But that's it. So long-term play TKO, not a short-term, long-term. And then another name I'm buying a lot of, and I started yesterday scaling, is the Band-Aid stock, KVU. So they make, they're a division of J&J. It's a flight to safety. So let's say the equity markets go to hell, stock market sells off a lot. What's going to go up? Staples, right? And if you look recently, look at the bid it's had with the market crash, market downturn, right? Big pops. So this is my, we'll call it the number one safety stock. So instead of buying VIX calls, which is usually a losing proposition, look at Staples. And this trader in KVU laid out 625,000 on the September's. So all you would do is look for a prior move over the prior swing high, right? So 24.46, or you can add an alert. Lines up perfectly the chart, pulled back into support. So all you would do is look for a breakout over the previous swing high in KVU. And this stock, it's not sexy. It does gap on occasion, but that's exactly what you want right now. If the market's scared, you want safe. You don't want NVDA. You don't want crack. Microsoft. You don't want Apple. You don't want to time AMD or Chicken Wing. You want safety. Man, Mara. That Mara call buyer did well, huh? Mara's up a lot pre-market. Those end of the day orders, last 10, 15 minutes are always the best. Always. But if you look at the September options in KVU, the trader yesterday actually laid out 25,000 of those calls. So they broke them up between sweeps and blocks. So 25,000 options at, let's say, $1.20. It was right around about right around $3 million in calls yesterday. And then if you go back in time, if you look at the September 23 options, look how good this trader was. And this is why you want to follow the smart money, a trader who's been right before. If you go back in time on February 18th, the trader bought 20,000, so probably the same trader, at $1.29, so kind of the same price they paid yesterday. And now those calls are up to $2.15. So they're up, about, very nicely. About $1.5 million already on their trade. So following the KVU trade, it's not sexy. It's not going to be a 3% mover a day. But what it will do is act as a hedge, and it's what I would consider a safety stock and a long-term play. So do what you want with it. You want to stick to the crack, trade it small. You want to stick to your high volatile stocks. They're great for trading long-term because this trader went to September. KVU is your pick. So you can allocate, way more position size. So what I want to do, maybe do about 20 to 40,000 in calls in KVU, especially if it keeps going down. And then, me on my weekly option positions, I'll put maybe $2,000 in, $1,000 or $2,000. Nothing big. So you can see really the position size, how much difference it is on a long dated safety bet that's kind of conservative compared to, a dice roll bet, so to speak. Oh, the birds are loud? Yeah, I have I guess you can't see the camera because I don't know why it's not working. But the doors are open up here in the trees. Give me 1 second. Actually, let's do this. Let's do a quick rundown. Throw some tickers in the chat, and we'll do that for about 3 minutes. We'll do a quick, brief market rundown of some names. Let's do that. All right, there we go. There we go. The webcam might be better up now. Let me make sure. No, still no webcam. It's so weird. Huh. I don't know what happened. I might have the guy come. Weird. All right, let's go through a few tickers in the chat. Oklo, oh Lord. Y'all, why are y'all sticking with the junkie stock still? Oklo would not touch with a 10-foot pole. BBAI, I sold it at $10, so I have no desire to touch that one again. IBM, I'd rather watch paint dry. Archer, you do have earnings. Did we see any Archer flow? Some March 8 calls. Yeah, wow. Okay. When did they report? You might have found something. Today. Ooh. All right. Who put Archer in? Cosmic Spiral. Archer, you got a winner. I like that one, Archer. Thank you. Look at that. Weekly 12 calls. March 8 calls. I like this. Ooh, what's the implied move? By the way, I gave my earnings indicator yesterday. If you want it, it's free. Just, I don't know, call the team or something. It should be in the description. And they'll email it to you. 935, so about a dollar move. Ooh, I like this one. It's up 40 cents already. Damn. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, baby. All right. Well, you got an earnings lotto. Look at here. You come, I give you a crack to the kids and everyone. I'm like a drug dealer. I'm an Archer. Joby. Archer is the one you want, not Joby Aviation. Joby, they already got in trouble. I won't go into the details, but Joby's kind of a, I hate to call it a fraud, but there's so many frauds in the market. But Joby's a pump and dump, basically. Archer's the real one. So yeah, I'll probably buy the weekly 9s. So here's a free trade idea. Post it in the Telegram. What's your name? Cosmic Spiral? Cosmic. And then we'll do a little Archer preview. Look at you. I like this. An Archer. So thank you. If it goes up, we won't pay you anything. If it goes down, you know what we'll do? We'll blame you for your bad recommendation. You can't see me, but I just gave you a thumbs up. All right, perfect. All right, everyone, that is it. Get your dice rolling. Get your crack. I gave you some good junky ideas. I hope you all make a bunch of money. If you lose money, you didn't hear it from me. If you made money, I'll take all the credit. Feel free to send stuff in the mail, autographed pictures, 12 by 10s, Girl Scout cookies, Wingstop gift cards, Amazon. There was just a note out. So all the analysts are trying to talk Amazon notes. And that's it. A lot of the crypto junk is up today, so we could have a little short squeeze in some of the cryptos. Hey, you know, whatever. I mean, Mara's up a lot, so that's going to cause a little pop. So those weekly calls in Mara are going to do fantastic. Maybe I'll be turned a bullish in Bitcoin again. You never know. I switch every other week in some of these stocks. All right, that is it. Thank you all. Goodbye, goodbye. I think we have some trainings today at, I don't know when. And then I might go live at 7 p.m. So be on the lookout tonight for that. Sorry about the webcam. It did not work. I don't know why. I'll have to find out the issue for that. Girl Scout cookies are toxic. Oh, no. Well, don't tell me that. I have to get blood work done Monday. We might find bad stuff, and I'll blame it on Girl Scout cookies. Yep, and just, I would trade small. Don't get too frisky just because the markets always use proper risk management, all that jazz, a disclaimer. And look for, if you're part of the Alpha Sweep, I'll be sending some updates today, especially with TKO and a couple of the other programs as well. Thanks again.